Yes, of course, it is a challenging landscape, but I'm an optimistic person, and my target is, as I've told all my councillors, is go out there and win every single vote you can.
I really hope that, like Labour, the Tories get absolutely obliterated in the local elections. That would be a delicious 2-for-1, a bog off, if you will.
I'm as real as a real can get. What you see?
Buongiorno freaks and geeks, welcome back to the channel. So it would seem that Kemi Badenoch has something to say. I mean, she must not be a big fan of Napoleon or Sun Tzu, because even though Keir Starmer is making epic mistakes, she can't help but interrupt him. I can imagine her just waking up in the middle of the night with cold sweats, picturing Keir Starmer making the most epic mistake.
Well, it's been a very late response in the UK. Surprised because the relationship is so good, but this has never happened before. They were really pretty much our first ally, all over the world, first ally, and they didn't want us to use the island, the so-called island, which for some reason they gave up rights to it, and I was a little surprised at the UK, to be honest with you. They should have acted a lot faster.
And she's thinking, I can't let him outdo me. So one of the establishment news media outlets did a little interview of her. We're going to get into that right now. But before we get into all of that, I just wanted to mention that my analysis on why America and Israel started this illegal war on Iran was completely wrong. I mean, I stated it was because Iran was the only power in the Middle East that challenged Israel. It would seem that analysis was too surface level, and I say this because investigative journalist Richard has done some fantastic work over on his YouTube channel. I definitely suggest you check out his live stream from Friday the 20th of March. I will link it in the description below.
There you go. Now you understand what this war is about. Now you really understand what it's about. Forget this nuclear bullshit. Forget the democracy. We always knew that's rubbish. But now you really understand what is going on. This is, I think, the most important video you'll have ever watched on this war and on geopolitics. Send it to everyone you know, because you're never going to get this on mainstream media, and I haven't seen a single other analyst anywhere in any language giving you what I just gave you.
Anyway, let's get into this video, but before I press play, please don't forget to hit the buttons for like, subscribe, and tell me down below, what is the point of the Tory party?
Kemi Badenoch, it was an energetic launch today, but the polls are still putting you behind reform. Some of them are putting you about level pegging with the Greens as well. So where's the evidence, I guess, that this is going to translate actually into results come the local elections?
Because the Conservative Party has the best offer. We've got a plan to get Britain working again, not just slogans. Talked about a cheap power plan, how we're going to lower people's energy bills. We've got a public order plan so we can take back our streets. Councils are going to make sure people get immediate justice, cleaning up graffiti.
Yeah, off the bat, who are you taking back the streets from, and how does cleaning up graffiti, even though a lot of graffiti is artistic, how does cleaning up graffiti challenge the cost of living crisis? I mean, Kemi, man, straight out of the gates, you're just giving us nothing, absolutely nothing. And as the interviewer mentioned, they're getting eaten from their right by Nigel Farage, eaten from their, well, I say left, but it's probably 1 inch to the left of them by the Labour Party, and further left by the Green Party. So all of this huffing and puffing and saying we are the Tory party, we have the answers to all of your questions, is just flat out false. You were in power for 14 years and you made people's lives miserable. Not to mention all of those thousands of people that died as a result of austerity. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to the end of this video, but not a great start, Kemi.
With, people know the wonderful policies on abolishing stamp duty, getting rid of business rates for most of the high street. We are showing people that we are focused on their concerns, not internal party woes like Labour does, or just saying whatever they can to get elected like Reform does.
Yeah, stamp duty is not my problem. I'm never going to be able to buy a house in the first place. And getting rid of, like, lowering business tax, again, I don't have a business. That is not my problem. My problem is that food in the supermarket is too expensive. My problem is that I haven't had a raise at my job in years. My problem is that gas and electric is too high. You are doing the whole slogan engineering, and it seems like she's maybe has employed a acting coach or dialogue coach, because she's trying to come out with all these things quick and snappy, but I'm really not convinced at all.
Yes, of course, it is a challenging landscape, but I'm an optimistic person. And my target is, as I've told all my councillors, is go out there and win every single vote you can.
I really hope that, like Labour, the Tories get absolutely obliterated in the local elections. That would be a delicious 2-for-1, a bog off, if you will.
Some of the domestic challenges that everyone's facing could well be about to get worse because of what's going on in the Middle East. I wonder, we saw Israel yesterday hit the biggest gas field in the world. Is that a good idea?
Well, I don't know the reasons behind that.
I mean, it really doesn't matter, does it?
There is a war on. It's not for me to it's not for me to pronounce on whether something was a good idea.
Then what's the point of you? You are telling us right now you want to be Prime Minister, but you can't tell us if Israel hitting the largest natural gas reserves on the planet was a good idea or not. I mean, golly, I know, like, everyone says the whole cliche that Israel has infiltrated every branch of government, whether it's here in the UK or in the United States, but I'm here to challenge that, because it's not Israel that benefits from people like Kemi saying this absolute garbage. It's America in the long run. And again, I would go and watch that live stream produced by Richard MEDHURST that I'm going to link in the description below, because it will absolutely change your mind on who the real power players on earth are.
Do you support
I don't have
that?
the
Is that
operational.
something that you...
I don't have the operational details. I mean, the minute this conflict started, I knew that this was something that was likely to escalate. I've hoped that we can de-escalate. I want to see our British bases protected. If people are firing at them, I want to make sure that we protect them, because we have put bases in other people's countries. We need to do everything we can to protect them. But you know, the hitting of the gas fields, and I think the retaliation on Qatar, this is going to have significant consequences for us here. So what we need to be doing is drilling oil and gas in the North Sea now. We have, we have some areas that are ready to go. Jackdaw, Rosebank, let's do that. I've been saying this for well over a year.
Well done for you. You've been saying something for well over a year. So why didn't the Tories do that in the 14 years that they were in government? I mean, you were a part of some of that absolutely diabolical Tory run. Why didn't you say it when you were actually in government? How can you come to the nation and say, well, I've been saying for over a year we should start drilling in the North Sea, for a year, when you were in government previous to this one? Please give me an absolute break.
Keir Starmer is wedded to this net zero ideology because of Ed Miliband, I suspect. He's not doing right by people here. We've got a cheap power plant that will actually lower bills today.
A little earlier, you said you've had one consistent position on this war in Iran, and it was that the UK should be allowing allies to use the air bases, especially when it's about defending our interests abroad. But on the 4th of March, you seem to say something different. You said the US has taken offensive action to destroy missile launch sites to defend British territory. Why will the Prime Minister not allow the RAF to do the same?
Yes.
So is your position that you would have sent the RAF in, and you think the RAF should have been bombing in Iran?
If they are striking at our bases, yes.
And there you go. I mean, Keir Starmer pretending that he is not a war hawk is one thing, but Kemi just coming straight out and saying, yeah, I love war, I love death and destruction. I want to go into Iran, destroy the missile launching capabilities so then they can retaliate against us, escalate further, and then what? You just start murdering innocent people in Iran as well? Is that what you're licking your lips at the prospect of? I mean, how are we allowing such heartless psychopaths to govern us. Not only govern us, but actually stand in opposition. Like, they're all heartless, and they're pretending that they have different modes of operation or different values or different politics. You are all exactly the same. And oh gosh, let's see how she tries and squirms out of this little scenario, I guess.
So I was very specific, and I used the analogy that it is not enough to catch arrows, you also need to stop the archer.
Yeah, but even by that analogy, if you're stopping, you're killing people. So what do you think they're gonna do? Oh, you've killed our archer, you've taken away our archer, so we're gonna just rest now? No, that is an absolute escalation. Why does she not understand that?
You would have wanted UK troops to be
I have
involved
been
in that
very,
way.
very clear that if there are missile launchers that are shooting at British bases, we should take those launchers out. Now, not everyone will agree with that. That's not the same as joining a war.
It is absolutely exactly the same as joining a war. Why would you say this? Words mean nothing anymore, especially with the words she's using. I mean, I'm not a word police officer myself, but if you believe bombing inside of another nation is not joining a war and escalating that said war, you don't deserve to be in any position of authority, because God knows what you will do.
But if people are attacking us, just stopping the drones and the missiles and hoping it's all going to be okay, I don't think is enough. And as it happens, so do the countries where we have put those bases. We have put bases in other people's countries.
Yeah, then leave. After this war is done, you need to leave. And like I said in my previous video, Cyprus wants to have that conversation. They don't want UK bases in their territory anymore, because that makes them a target, especially for a puppet cucking imperious nation like the UK. So yeah, leave those places. You are not making it safer for them. You're only there to protect your own interests. And your interests are so selfish anyway, because they only benefit the top 1% in this country. It doesn't benefit working class people. Not that that would be a reason to be imperialist and be having bases across the Middle East, but it doesn't benefit us anyway. That's the cherry on top.
And they're saying, hang on, we're being attacked now. Where are you? You're not doing enough. I think that's something that needs to be listened to. This isn't about going to Iran and just bombing, whatever it is you want to. This is about people attacking the UK. And I have been very consistent. What I think is hypocritical about the Prime Minister is that he's misrepresenting my position because he thinks that this is an easy thing for him to do. He showed yesterday at Prime Minister's Questions that he was dishonest, wouldn't answer, tells us things that we know are clearly not true. He's doing the same with my position, and I will make sure that people out there understand we did not want conflict, but when there is conflict, we need to make sure we do right by British service personnel.
We don't want conflict, but we will take conflict. That's basically what you just said. Because again, I have to say this again, if you go and drop bombs in another country, you are joining the war and you are escalating it. You know for a fact, if US Army personnel are refueling and rearming at UK bases, that makes UK bases a target. Why the hell do you think Spain said no to America when it came to Donald Trump requesting to use those bases? Spain knows full well, if I let you use my base, I become a target.
I did just want to finally ask you about Nick Timothy as well. You explained a little bit earlier that you felt uneasy that women seemed to be pushed to the back when the prayer was going on in Trafalgar Square. That's not the reasoning and the argument he's making, though. He's talking about this being straight from the Islamist playbook of dominating public spaces. Do you agree with that reasoning that he's putting forward?
I agree with him on the domination of public spaces, and how that happens is when people are excluded, when activities are being carried out that other people are not welcome to join.
What are we doing here? You just mentioned that UK has bases in Middle East countries, taking up room and making those Middle East countries a target. And in the next breath, you are saying Muslims shouldn't be allowed to pray in Trafalgar Square. Okay.
Trafalgar Square is a place that has had lots of festivals from all sorts of religions. Islam, Hinduism, Sikhism, Judaism, as well as Christianity will be having the Passion.
So is the problem about women being blocked out of it? What's the actual issue?
So this is not about freedom of religion. I want to be clear. This is a Christian country that has welcomed and tolerated lots of minority faiths.
Again, it's a secular country. We're not a theocracy, as you accuse Iran of being. Is separation of church and state, and if I'm not mistaken, adherence to Christianity is at a all-time low in this country. So saying we are a Christian country, Christian is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in that little statement.
But those need to be practiced in a way, especially in public spaces, that are in accordance with British values. We don't accept every single religious practice just because it is religious.
He's talking about these are links back to radical Islam ideology.
He wrote a very, very long article that explained that. And there are, so let's be very clear. I'm not here to litigate every single practice in every single religion, but there are people who have made these arguments. Let's hear the arguments. What we're not going to do as a Conservative Party is shut things down and say, well, we're not listening, we don't want to hear anything because someone might be upset. If people have a different opinion, they should say why they have a different opinion, not attack Nick Timothy and not say he should be sacked because he said something that they don't like.
Stop it. Get some help.
That is what creates the problem of more separatism, more identity politics.
Just a few moments ago.
This is a Christian country.
That's awkward.
And the Conservative Party, under my leadership, has had enough. If we think something is wrong or we think it's too much, we'll say, actually, do you know what? Maybe not in Trafalgar Square.
Oh, gosh. What are we doing here? No identity politics. But they say, look, look at this identity. I hate it. Again, this is like hypocrisy of the highest order. You have British bases in Muslim countries right now, and those British bases have led to those Muslim countries being attacked by Iran. But now you're saying, oh yeah, we don't want you celebrating your religion in public in Trafalgar Square for one night of the year. Like, it's not like they've camped out there every single day. It's like this one time they're like, we need to do something about Islam. Why are we doing this? What are we doing here? You say you hate identity politics, and look at you right now doing cheap identity politics point scoring.
That's probably best in a mosque, and we're not going to shy away from that.
Okay, Kemi Badenoch, thank you.
Thank you.
What a complete waste of time that was. I mean, I suspected Kemi wasn't going to say anything of substance, but that was far lower than my expectations. I mean, do you really think that anyone's going to vote for Kemi Badenoch to be Prime Minister at the next general election? Even if you put her up against Keir Starmer, but I don't think Keir Starmer's going to make it that far. But I don't even think she will last until the next general election, to be honest. We are in between a rock and a hard place, especially when it comes to the local elections. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I will say the results are going to be very, very interesting. So tell me what you think down below. And if you want to spot red flags like Kemi Badenoch in relationships, I have voiced the audiobook, link in the description below. And remember, once we understand politics, we will make better choices. If you've made it to this point, I really appreciate the support. Hit the buttons for like, subscribe, and I will see you very, very soon. Ciao.
You make the welcome true, then I give you up. You make the welcome true, then I give you up. You make the welcome true, though you're happening. Everyone can see that I'm deep in the hill. Baby, know I will give all I have to give more.